Winston Churchill once said, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." For over 10 years, the Chicago Network fundraisers have been instrumental in getting funds to help underprivileged Pakistanis lead a life they deserve. Your contributions have been essential in helping our foundation reach its goals. In 2009, your funds enabled HDF to open 5 new elementary and secondary schools, provide healthcare services to more than 9,000 students, train close to 1,000 people in vocational training skills, provide 147 microloans, immunize 89% of children under 1, arrange 25 free medical camps, and complete 74 community infrastructure projects. These accomplishments are amazing, and you all definitely deserve a round of applause.
Everyone in this room has experienced hardship. Are you one of those people? How much hardship? It could be financial, it could be physical, it could be emotional. In those moments of despair, when you believe in yourself but don't have someone to believe in you, how did you feel? When you knew you had the strength to move ahead, but just the opportunity was not present, how did you feel? Above all, do you want to help? That's a question I need answered out loud. Do you want to help?
This is a good opportunity for all of us to become a part of this selfless endeavors of HDF for improving the standard of living and poverty alleviation in the country we all love. So I wish all the success to HDF in its ongoing projects and hope and pray that it is able to expand its outreach to other parts of the country as well. So once again, I congratulate HDF for organizing this such a wonderful gathering, and I also congratulate all these recipients. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
I am going to ask a question of each one of the recipients of this recognition and request them to maybe take about 3 minutes or so to give their opinion on the particular question. And I will start with Dr. Abdullah, and I will request you'll have to come here so Safeer-e-Pakistan can record it. The question is, and if I may have everybody's attention please. Can I have, this is a question for Dr. Abdullah. The Nawawi Foundation is dedicated to characterizing the American Muslim cultural identity. The American Muslim community derives its roots from many different cultures all over the world and is intimately linked with those cultures. Could you comment on how these interlinkages help shape the American Muslim identity and how the American Muslims can play an active role in perhaps shaping the lives of those communities back home?
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm really honored to be here, and I'm very humble to be among the 6 people that are designated here. I think this is a great honor to Chicago in particular, and I really do believe that the community that we have in Chicago is a very special Muslim community, and I think it's a unique community in the history of Islam, in Chicago as well as in the United States of America. The question that I was asked pertains to one of the objectives of the Nawawi Foundation, which is expressed in an article that we have on our website, www.nawawi.org, called Islam and the Cultural Imperative. And in that we talk about the imperative that we create a dynamic cultural identity of Muslims in the United States and that this is part of our prophetic law. It is not just a cultural and social imperative. But what I want to emphasize is that in that creation of a dynamic, indigenous American Muslim community, it must be an inclusive identity and not an exclusive one. It must be broad-minded, it must be localized and global, it must not be narrow-minded and sectarian. So for us to be concerned about the welfare of Pakistan must be also part of the agenda of that culture and part of the cultural outlook of this community. And I would like to say that what HDF is doing, the attempt, to help Pakistan, to educate the poor, to bring education to women and to men. I think many people tonight have talked about that as an act of charity. And inshallah, the men and women here are very charitable and very generous, and you should be honored for your support. But I would emphasize that this is a civic responsibility. And really, we ought to be able to speak about this in much stronger terms. Pakistan needs this help critically. And it is very good for us to extend that help, and it is very good for us in building the kind of cultural identity that we yearn to have, to actually go and to take part in that also. We need to learn these parts of the world. That's also one of the things that our foundation does. We take cultural trips, we go see different parts of the Muslim world, but becoming actively involved in helping the poor and the underprivileged in countries like Pakistan, this is a civic responsibility. What you have given tonight is very generous. The per capita wealth that is represented in this room is tremendous. I feel that we need to give much more than we have given. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum.
Dr. Abdullah, thank you very much for those words of wisdom and insight. I will next go to Dr. Tariq Chima, who's like a younger brother to me, although sometimes he gives me advice like an older brother also. Tariq, philanthropy comes in many shapes and sizes. This is for you, so better make note of it, right? There'll be a post-test also. Philanthropy comes in many shapes and sizes, from Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and mega organizations such as Oxfam and Feed the Poor, to the individuals giving to the man on the corner with a copy of Streetwise. Between these two ends of the spectrum, the arm's length transaction of giving to a large NGO on the one hand, and the personal one-on-one interaction on the other hand, there are many smaller endeavors like ours, the HDF. So, is there an advantage of one of these over the other? And how can they be strategically aligned, which is what you are trying to do through the World Council of Muslim Philanthropists, to kind of make them all more effective? So could you comment on that, please?
Personally, I believe that philanthropy should not be one size fits all. I mean, act of individual kindness is extremely important to promote compassion and as well as understanding of the giving in our Muslim society. And we are privileged to be living in the United States, where we see philanthropy at its best when you compare with the rest of the world. At the same time, mega projects like Bill Gates and other people's initiatives are extremely important to address the massive level of the global poverty. Therefore, the quest for a happy medium as the right solution may miss the point. I think the real point is that how we can best coordinate these different interventions. And it is very refreshing for me to see the whole development of Human Development Foundation